Hey guys, I finally picked up a new Honda CBR300R. Extremely excited. Uh, just sitting on the bike, it feels amazing compared to my Suzuki 800 cruiser, the C50. I just traded it in and bought a brand new CBR300. Getting things set up for the first ride back home from the dealer. And the dealer I worked with, Western Honda, extremely awesome. Great guys to work with. The clutch feels pretty quick here. Very, very responsive. There we go. That's a nice green bike. Alright. I'm off and running, and the bike feels very smooth. The engine feels very light. Wow, what a difference. This thing is so light compared to my cruiser C50. I don't even feel it. Just sitting on it, it feels amazing, and I'm a little forward. Definitely, I can feel it. I can already feel a difference with me riding on this bike versus the Suzuki C50. In that bike, I would be pretty much stretched out. In this bike, I'm leaning forward, not too much like my previous sports bikes, but I definitely have a little bit of a lean forward. It's just getting used to it. I think riding it for some time, I'm pretty sure I'll get used to it. Nice sounding exhaust. Some guy. This bike is bone stock. I didn't buy any new exhaust or anything to put on it. I intend to ride it and then break it in stock, and then once I hit maybe 1,000 miles, I'll see if it needs exhaust. But I actually I upgraded the exhaust on my C50 because I really wanted to feel safe on the road. But after riding for a lot, all my motorcycles that I've owned, I've had aftermarket exhaust, and they're loud. And after riding them for maybe a 1 hour ride, your ears they start to hurt. It does take a toll on your ears, and that gets tiring. I prefer the exhaust, the stock exhaust, to aftermarket part. Well, revving this guy up, it goes fine. I'm doing 40, 45 maybe. I'm actually hitting 50. What's that smell? You can smell some, like a burnt rubber smell. Maybe that comes from a brand new motorcycle. I don't know. Let's see how long that smell comes. Ooh, the brake is not that bitey. I was hoping the brake to catch on pretty quick. It's okay. I probably will test it out some more. Let's see. Very smooth, very smooth. I'm extremely impressed. No wonder when people say pick up a Honda and then you will not touch any other motorcycle, I think this is what they mean. The fit and finish on this motorcycle is amazing, and I wasn't, worried about the color. I could go with either they had a black and red. Between the two, I didn't care. I just wanted the one which gave me the best deal, and this particular model, they gave me a great deal on it. Western Honda in right off of Scottsdale Road. Extremely awesome dealer. The funny part was I was intent on buying Kawasaki Ninja. I visited a local dealer in Phoenix, and man, uh, the right from the time I entered to the way they dealt with me, I hated it. You know, the guy was like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with you because there are other people who just pay MSRP or even more to buy the bike from me. No, sorry, I can't deal with you." That was his attitude, and I just walked out. I couldn't stand it. That was kind of a really bad thing, and I think it's a thing that dealers need to understand, that when a person comes in, at least be mindful that they're coming in, hoping to make a deal. Even if they don't make a deal, if you, talk to them properly and approach them as a normal human being, maybe you might actually, convince them to buy a motorcycle, right? That was the case here. I wasn't even looking at a Honda. I was looking at a Ninja or a Yamaha R3, and then my friend said, "Hey, why don't you try a Honda? Honda is awesome." And I was looking at this guy, and the power was down compared to a Ninja and an R3. I was thinking, man, if I'm going to buy a brand new one, why am I sticking to one that gives me a little less power? Then I started reading a lot of the reviews, and one of the things that was a recurring advice from even the professional reviewers was just the owners. They all mentioned the same thing, that if you buy a Honda, excuse me, the smell still seems to come up. I had to check that. Now and then I keep looking down, looking at other cars, seeing what the hell is this smell. It's like a burnt rubber smell. Well, it's a new motorcycle, and I guess this is what you get. Maybe it'll go away. Let's see. Alright, going back to what I was talking about, I wasn't even looking at Honda. Man, that smell. The guy, when I walked in, John Lloyd was his name. He was amazing. He treated me well. I walked in and he showed me a bunch of bikes, and I told him, "Hey, this is the deal. I want to trade in my cruiser and then downsize to an entry sports bike, beginner sports bike. It's okay. I'll get my feet wet back in sports bike again with a beginner sports bike. Plus, the mileage is supposed to be really good. I will, in my next video, I'll probably do an update with what kind of mileage I'm getting on this bike. But reading all the forums, they're saying it's in the high 60s, whereas my cruiser would give me maybe mid 40s. So yeah, I'm jumping up over 20 miles to a gallon, and the fuel tank on this one is like 3.7. So that should get me close to 200 and some miles just on one fill up, which is insane, right? And I'm looking forward to riding this. Should I take the highway? Probably not. I'm just going to stick to the local roads because I'm riding it back home. It's going to take me a long time, but I would rather do it and not hurt the engine, because the guy said you can take it on the highway when you're breaking it in, but don't go for a long distance. And I'm just not going to risk it. I read a bunch of forums where the guy said, "Oh yeah, for braking in, you can do a hard brake in, or you can just follow the manufacturer's recommended settings." I'm kind of in the mixed mode. I intend to rev this up a lot in the next couple of days, all the way to Redline and then back, because that's the way I broke in my other motorcycles. So let's see how that is. But on the whole, I probably won't take it on the highway until it hits maybe 400, 500 miles. Then maybe I'll stretch the legs and ask it to go on the highway. So far, the first impressions are it drives extremely smooth. The ergonomics are really nice. I feel very comfortable. Almost upright. I initially thought I was leaned over. It's almost upright. So, alright guys, have fun. Until next time, I will talk to you guys soon.